Good evening, NGS faculty, alumni, students, and guests. My name is Kimberly Dye. I'm a master's student in the online Quality Systems Management program at NGS. My specialties are the operating room, first assisting, and quality management. Allow me to introduce my teammates, Tamara Hayes, whose specialty is critical care, post-anesthesia recovery, and quality management, along with Donna Pasante, whose specialty is quality management, the operating room, and regulatory services. We comprise the San Antonio cohort. We are good friends and co-workers at the South Texas Veterans Healthcare System. Our team membership, before I lead into the team membership, I'll go over the agenda for this evening's presentation. I'm going to start out by telling you our project champion and team membership. We're going to introduce our problem statement, project mission and intent, flow process, performance measures, potential results, and next steps. Our team membership is led by our senior project champion, Judy Moore, who is a quality management clinician that covers the surgical services area, who's followed by the day-to-day champion, Dr. Brad Hall, who is the chief of surgery, and we're supported by the Guiding Coalition, Diane Leguest, the OR nurse manager, and Elder Romo, the OR assistant nurse manager, Vanessa Lewis, the OR educator, in addition to Dr. James Rogers, the chief of anesthesia, as well as Dr. Lori Pounds, vascular surgeon. We're very honored to work with our Guiding Coalition and our project champions. We feel very well supported, and they're very talented, and they get us what we need to get our project done. So we are very grateful we have a good group to work with. And these members also comprise our senior leadership at South Texas, which I think if you're joining the program, it's very important to consider who you're going to get to help support you. And you need to have top management involved, and we're very lucky. In today's tough economic times, whether you own a business or own a home, containing costs has become a great priority. And healthcare is no exception. According to a prospective study by Overdyke, Harvey, Fishman, and Shippey, 1998, capitalized reimbursement and managed care costs has thrust the operating room efficiency to become a greater priority. And with that being said, Tamara Hayes is going to tell you what the problem is at South Texas Veterans Healthcare System.
Thank you, Kim, for sharing the introduction. It is a known fact that the operating rooms are important resources for patient care as well as revenue. But yet there's a significant portion of operating room time that is taken up by non-operative activities, which actually leads us into the problem statement. At South Texas Veterans Healthcare System, preparation time for complex vascular surgery procedures impacts non-operative time and therefore cost, or therefore increase the cost. We have a mission at South Texas, and that is to honor our Americans veterans by providing exceptional health care to them. And how does our project actually link to the organization mission? Well, we're going to improve operating room efficiency by increasing preparation time as well as non-operative time. We're wanting to increase the number of procedures performed as well as increase the revenue. Now, we intend to do quite a few things here. Next slide. Quite a few things here. So we wanted to evaluate the amount of preparation time of complex vascular surgery procedures. We're going to detail the preparation process of an actual case. We're wanting to identify major factors that can impact the preparation time, which there could be numerous things that can do that. We wanted to also evaluate benchmarks as well as best practices. In addition to, we're wanting to develop process improvements for the area, for the operating room, I should say, as well as implement the proposed solutions that we're planning to enforce. And then we want to evaluate the process improvements as well. And so at this point, now Kim's going to speak with you all about process milestones.
The operating room is a very complex environment. It has several minute processes involved in operating flow and operating room efficiency. The major milestone of the processes can be categorized by three can be broken down into 3 categories: preoperative, intraoperative, and postoperative. Each of these major milestones contains several specific steps that contribute to the overall flow and the efficiency of the operating room. Our problem is focused mainly on the preoperative milestone, which captures the procedure preparation, which was defined in our problem statement, and it also focuses on the postoperative milestone, which covers the turnover time once one procedure ends, the time from that time until the next patient enters the operating room. And so that's also directly linked to our problem statement as well. The next slide demonstrates our current as-is process that contains those minute processes where we derived our current performance metrics. I apologize for it's hard to see it, it's very detailed, but it's color coded. The patient is actually moving, arriving to the operating room, getting checked in the purple, arriving to the holding area just before you enter the operating room, which is in the green. And then as the patient has the procedure, several steps are done, and then they move to the post-anesthesia recovery unit, and then those several steps after that are when the turnover time takes place. So this is a very detailed as-is flow map. All of the time metrics and intervals have been captured, and at this time, Donna's going to tell you what our performance metrics are.
As you see by our as-is flow map and literature reviews, these were the measures that were identified. Most of these measures were developed by the American Association of Anesthesia Clinical Directors and by us, and we're hoping the ones that we developed will be utilized in further performance measure endeavors. By using these measures, we will identify our baseline data. We've already identified that the procedure start time to the incision time has been an extensive amount of time. It's taken approximately 57 minutes by the research data that we've already done. This is an extensive amount of time to begin a surgical case. We're also needing to develop further tools to assist us in developing our baseline data, because not all of this data is identified in the OR record, which is where we've gotten some of our data so far. As you can see, the matrix are color-coded, and the area, the blue highlighted area, represents matrix directly related to the non-operative time preparation, which is related to our problem statement. There's quite a bit of them. We may be cutting them down as we go through and look at this data. We may be cutting our measures down to be more detailed in the process. Some of our potential results that we're wanting to obtain is we're wanting to decrease the non-operative time and the pre-procedure preparation time, thereby improving the OR flow process and also implementing parallel processes, also known as simultaneously processes, which will ultimately increase the amount of vascular cases performed, as well as increasing the revenue for the OR. So the next steps that we need to do, we need to develop the tools and analyze the rest of our data, and thereby developing our baseline measures. We also must benchmark ourselves against other VAs and establishing a best practice. And at this time, I'd also like to think we've come a long way. We still have a long way to go, though.
We're on target.
We're just going into Gateway 1, so as you can tell, we've done a lot of work just getting to Gateway 1. I would like to thank Dr. Gee for inviting us and allowing us to present our what we've done so far, and Professor Curran for her assistance and mentoring that she's assisted us with in going through this process. And if there's any questions, we'll take them.